Hello, YouTube. How's it going? How is your day? It's minus a million degrees outside. It's so dark and cold. It's going to be really cold this week, but then it's going to get a bit nicer next week, like low minuses, like -5 or 7 degrees Celsius or something. And a few of the days are actually going to be quite sunny, which is nice. How's the weather where you are? Sorry, my phone was talking at me. And yeah, how's the weather where you guys are? I'm just looking to see what's wrong with my phone. Everything's good. Oh, I see Lisa and Mr. Ranger Lab. How's it going? Thank you for joining. If you guys were here last week, you'd remember we watched part 1 of this video with body super trainer Carl Deichler and Body Super Trainer Autumn Calabrese and Body CEO Carl Deichler talking about the groundbreaking new hormone health program for women that's going to be coming out, I think. I don't remember. Is it March? And it's workouts, breath work, nutrition, and something else. I don't remember. And it's apparently supposed to help us balance our hormones. And we are starting at part 2 of this video, right where we ended up last time. Lisa says cold and rainy here, typical for Seattle. Yeah, it doesn't rain too much here, but it's always very cold. Warm today, but we'll be frigid by the weekend. Can you talk to someone in Canada to not send the cold down here? That's funny. That's funny. 47 F 2C. 8. That's like could be cold depending on whether or not it's sunny, right? If it's sunny, that's lovely. If it's dark and windy, that could be a little cold. Okay, I'm ready. I have her at 1.3 speed. Hi, Lori. No worries. I hope you feel better soon. I have her at 1.3 speed, and tell me if that is too fast, and then I'll slow them down.
And getting that small win in week 1. But what I don't want to do with the also, I always say this too, I'm very quick to tell people this. Some people will drop weight in week 1 very quickly. And other people, it'll be almost a little bit more of a shock to their system and their body might be like, what's happening? Hold on, time out. And so their weight loss might not come until week 2 or 3. You've got to trust the process. It's not a 1-week program. It's not a 1-month program. If you have a week or 2 or even 3 weeks where the number isn't moving on the scale, that's why we're looking at measurements. That's why we're looking at sleep quality, mood, energy, strength gains in the workouts. All that stuff matters. Are those symptoms going down or
Apparently, all this stuff matters other than weight loss. Like, is your sleep improving? Are your symptoms improving? But you can also expect to lose weight within the first 3 weeks. Apparently, 3 weeks is apparently a really, really long time to go without losing weight. It's just so funny where there's such an emphasis on losing weight quickly within just a few weeks. And then, oh, but other parts of this process matter too, not just the number on the scale. So don't get discouraged when that number doesn't go down, you know? Seems a little contradictory. Was that the word? Oh, it was released December 10th. Thank you. By the weekend, it'll be below 0 Celsius for at least 2 days. Is it sunny, though? That is the question. Hi, Tori. Nice to see you.
proving, however you want to say it, because it is 12 weeks. And really, I know we've got to put a start and end date on programs. But for me, none of my programs have a real end date. Yeah. Portion Fix is just a lifestyle. And 4-week up protocol, yes, it's 4 weeks. But really, I don't know why, when you feel better, would you go back to doing what you were doing before?
Well, obviously, I like to put an end date on it so that people are like, okay,
yes,
I'm going to hold you to a standard.
Yes.
What am I going to get?
This is what happened. Yes. But my point is that it's 12 weeks, yes, start to finish. But then it's a lifestyle.
Sure.
So it's not something that's not sustainable. That's my point.
Yeah. So we talked.
Apparently, it's not something that's not sustainable. But then if you YouTube the different Beachbody nutrition programs, you'll see how restrictive it is, how entire food groups are cut out. You're supposed to stuff your vegetables into tiny little containers because apparently we have to portion out our vegetables. We can't just eat a reasonable amount of vegetables. And of course, this is a lifestyle. None of her programs actually have an end date. And that's just comical to me. I don't understand where, in my opinion, my non-educated opinion, heavy restricting on our food intake eating less food than what we should be eating based on our height and our weight. Apparently, that is a sustainable lifestyle. I'm not giving medical advice here. I'm just saying I lost a reasonable amount of weight, 50-ish pounds, and I just ate more fruits and vegetables and portioned out my food based off of serving sizes. And if I felt like one serving of the food was not enough, then I just made 2 servings, but I just paid attention to servings. I ate a little bit below my maintenance calories and I lost weight. And now maintaining for the past several years, just like have fruits and vegetables throughout the day, pay attention to the number of servings that I'm eating, and try to eat intuitively. Right? Oh, I keep forgetting to give the trigger warnings, even though it's in my title. Dieting, weight loss, mention of illness. If you don't want to hear about that, skip this video. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to do that because it's in the title. Oh, sunny but windy. Gotcha. Oh, hey, Neil. One of the warmer days here in New Jersey. Nice. Nice, nice. Have you ever gone to Devils games, Neil? Growing up, I loved the Devils. Loved the Devils. And Buffalo and Colorado. Those were my childhood teams.
Talked about nutrition. We'll get to the supplements. We talked about breath work and stress management, and you referred to fitness. And
I know the door tracks are here
because you shot it here, but people don't know that.
Right.
So we are in the studio of where they shot the Belle Vitale workouts, and this is super interesting. Hopefully, we'll roll some footage in because you recreated as a component of the overall fitness program Pilates work that.
And something about those moves, yes, it is low impact. Yes, we're not leaping around up and down off the floor, but not everyone can put their feet in that position. Not everyone has the strength to hold themselves up with one hand, not only hold themselves up, but do something else with the other hand. I can barely do this move without doing something else with my other hand. I'll just have my hand on my hip. And they make it seem like everyone can do this because it's not high impact, but this looks challenging. This would be challenging for me. And of course, in my opinion, it's not it's not sustainable. What am I trying to say? Accessible. It's not accessible because what the fuck is this? Well, it's a door track. You apparently connect it to your door, but then you have to have so much equipment for these different programs. You can't just turn on your TV and work out. You have an exercise ball. You have this weird mat thing. You have the weird elastic thing. It's so expensive to do beach body fitness programs.
You recreated as a component of the overall.
I do not have the flexibility to do that. It's not just because she's going to say these workouts don't put stress on your body and therefore help you regulate your hormones more. This I can't do. Anyone else? If you can do it, more power to you.
Fitness program, Pilates work, that it looks like you're on one of these $10,000 machines. Where did you come up with this idea? How did you develop it? Because it's really impressive to watch.
It was super fun. So actually, the idea, I don't know if you remember this or not, the idea came from 9 Week Control Freak, because we used the door track in 9 Week Control Freak. So, we shot 9 Week Control Freak, then we shot Off the Wall, but we also shot Remote Control. We were like, great, that door track can go with people everywhere. Let's give them 5 workouts that they can do when they're on the go. And I remember being like, oh my God, I was a little bit brain dead at the time of like, what else am I going to do on this door track? And I started looking at Pilates moves. I had been certified in mat Pilates years ago. I had not been certified in Reformer, Cadillac, all of the other apparatuses. But when I shot those videos.
Do you guys know what Pilates is? I just want to show you because she's gonna say something that's funny. Pilates. I'll just show you quickly. Get a picture up of the type of Pilates she's talking about. This. Because there's like the mat Pilates where it's still hard. Like I've done Pilates before. It's hard. And you're beside a bar, you're doing lots of stuff with little weights, you're really using your lower body, right? And then she's talking about she got certified a long time ago. She's not currently certified in this kind of Pilates. Have you guys done that before? I would not. I don't even want to try. It looks so hard. Exercises. Yes, exactly. Perfect description. Let's go back to the video. Neil said, the only hockey game I've been to is watching the Montreal Canadiens versus Calgary Flames in November 2014 in Montreal. It was the first time in Canada and the first time I ever went outside the US. Oh, that would have been a cool game. That would have been cool. Love that. And then in winter too in Montreal. Awesome. I hope it was fun. And I can't believe the one hockey game is like 10 years ago.
One workout in particular, I was like, I pulled some Pilates moves into it. And I remember saying to you, of course, you know, I'm always hinting to you at the next thing I want to do. And you sort of rolled your eyes at me and I was like, just so you know, there's a program here. And you're like,
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a time and a place, and it made perfect sense with Belle Vitale because, you know, a lot of people will take Pilates to be just stretching and super easy. And it is the furthest thing from the truth. So when I started my Pilates certification.
Do you guys think Pilates is easy and it's just stretching? Because when I went to Pilates that wasn't on that big machine, I didn't think it was easy. It said low intensity, yes, but I assumed it was going to be a lot of, yeah, sure, stretching. But I remember we had little baby dumbbells, but we were doing the most hard, challenging moves with those dumbbells. Like 1 pound never felt so fucking heavy. And then we went over to the bar and we're holding the bar and we had like a ball, like, here's our knee. We had to keep a ball here, and we're like bending and kind of doing ballet moves with a ball squish between our legs and stretching our legs way up. And it was the hardest thing ever. And I never thought that going into Pilates, it would be an easy class. Never. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I thinking of bar? Maybe that was a bar class. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Does Pilates have a bar? I might have spent time describing bar. Let's just Google. Does Pilates have? Okay. I definitely was describing bar, so please ignore everything I just said. That's funny. According to their website, signing up for the 12-week program costs $299, includes the equipment and supplements. Yes, but you're agreeing to a monthly subscription that's really expensive. It sure is. Okay, I'm going to go body. What's this called? I want to see if there's equipment that we have to buy too. Yes, equipment. Body core ball. Come on. I want to see the body core ball. I want to see how much this shit costs. Do you see me clicking it and it's not working? So there's a body core ball that you need for $14.95. You need the bod rope. How much is the rope? $29.95. Okay, why don't we calculate? Great idea. $14.95 plus $29.95. How much are the power loops? $7.95. Oh, $7.95. Fuck, sorry. Don't swear. Stop swearing. Resistance loops, $14.95 a set of 3. Strength slides and booties, $34. So that's $102.75 worth of equipment. And yeah, Lisa said $299, including the. Oh, I'm just not reading I'm not paying attention to anything today. It includes the equipment. Okay. Never mind, but it's a lot of equipment. It's $102.75 worth of equipment, but the $299 includes the equipment. Okay. I'm just struggling today. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, they're claiming the program value is $810, so you're getting such a great deal, of course. And they're gonna tell us other reasons why it's such an amazing deal.
Certification through BOSSI, so Body Arts and Science International. I just remember getting on this equipment and I was like, this is the hardest freaking thing ever. People are crazy.
And you having whatever the bossy thing is, I don't know anything about that, but you having an expired certification does not mean that you're uniquely qualified to be creating a Pilates-esque course. You're not. It doesn't make you impressive. It doesn't make you unique. It means you don't keep up with your certifications.
Crazy if they think this is easy. It's so much control. The preciseness of every movement, the mobility and the flexibility that comes along with it. And I just remember like getting off the equipment dripping and being like, what? And then feeling so long and lean at the same time. And then going into my strength training workouts and being like, wait a minute now, I feel even better here now that I'm doing this. So it was really fun to get to go through the Bossy certification and learn all the different apparatuses. And as I'm learning them, going, okay, it's essentially a cable system. So, and a carriage with the reformer. So put the slides in there to sort of help mimic the carriage of the reformer. The door track gives us a different point of pull. So we get to work not just the front of the body, but the back of the body in ways that we don't get to when we're old.
This shit looks hard. Did you see that? Wait. Oh my God. One of those moves looks so hard. And apparently you're not supposed to be beating, whatever. You're not supposed to be beating your body into submission. This is better for our hormone health, but that looks hard. I don't have the core strength to hold myself up in a fucking plank position and doing all these fancy moves. I die at the gym holding it for 1 minute. I can barely do 1 minute just still, let alone doing other things.
Only using dumbbells or weights. And also the most important reason for it is I'm being very intentional with stress on the body. How intense are the workouts? Where's that cortisol?
Just because you're not leaping through the fucking air doesn't mean what you just showed us is not intense. It looks incredibly intense. Okay, pause. Belle Vitale. How do I find? I just want I just want a trailer. I just want a trailer. I just want to watch the trailer together. So I want to see the workouts. I want to see just an example workout. That's funny. I look. I searched Belle Vitale workout, and look, there I am. See, isn't that funny? I want to see an example of a workout. Maybe they don't have a workout. Okay, whatever. It looks hard. It looks hard. That does not look easy, ma'am. Hi, Tanya. How's it going? Thank you for joining.
Cortisol spike happening? How long is that cortisol spike happening? And what am I getting from the workout? So we get big bang for our buck with Pilates in terms of strength, coordination, precision, flow. You're breathing all throughout it. So it even ties breath work into there.
You know what also, where we also get that benefit from? Working with a personal trainer who can teach us when we're supposed to brace. So we're like bracing our core during certain lifts, during certain moves. They can teach us exactly how to coordinate our body when we're doing heavier lifts so we're safe. They can create a personalized workout plan for us based on our unique goals and also say our injuries or our physical limitations. Maybe you can't do maybe you can't lunge or you can't squat very well. They will work around that injury and create a safe, effective workout for you that is also focused on breath work and coordination and strength and all that bullshit she just said. And yes, it's going to cost more seeing a personal trainer than it is $299 for a fucking Autumn Calabrese program, but we're paying more because the person is actually uniquely qualified to be providing us with this information.
So you're getting a lot out of it, but without a massive cortisol spike like you might get from a HIIT workout or a strength training workout. That doesn't mean that we never do HIIT or we never do strength training. It's in there also. Yeah. But it's a balance to make sure that we're not overtaxing our body, our adrenals, and hitting that cortisol when we're working so hard to try to balance it out throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, super cool. People are they're just going to freak out when they're doing this. Like everybody's seen these machines. You walk by a Pilates gym, you see these big contraptions. They cost like 10 grand. What these things?
They're expensive. I mean, in all honesty, I outfitted my home gym with all of it because the amount of hours I had to do to pass.
The privilege. You hear Carl Deichler, oh my God, those machines are $10,000. And then our friend Autumn, I bought one for myself to get through my certification. Wow, you're so relatable. And I feel like she is the ideal body type in Beachbody, where you have someone who's small and lean and doesn't seem to have much fat on their bodies, which nothing wrong with that. I'm not body shaming, but she seems to be the ideal body type. But then her body type, she was able to achieve said body type partly through having the financial resources required to buy a reformer Pilates thingamajigger in her home, a $10,000 Pilates machine in her home. That helped her achieve her physique. My point is, Jessica off the street is not going to get the same result as Autumn, because Autumn is privileged financially. And maybe genetically too.
Passed the certification, it actually ended up being less expensive, and I had the space because it was 500 hours that I had to do. If I was paying $100 an hour for class, like that adds up real quick. But it's expensive, and it took me a year pacing it out to outfit my home with all of that stuff so that I could be practicing it. And okay, if I do it over here on the reformer, now let me take it to the door track. If I set it up for the Cadillac, okay, what did I do there? Let me take it to the door track. I'm on the wounded chair. Let me take it to the, it was fun like that. But yes, it is very expensive. And it's also very expensive to go take a Pilates class. Like minimum, if you're in a group setting on a reformer where maybe there's like 8 people in the class, minimum you're probably paying $35 to $50 an hour. Here in LA, you're not getting it for under like 85 to 100.
Wow.
Like it's expensive.
It's crazy.
Sure, you are paying more money for actual fitness classes, but you're paying for a currently certified person to teach you how to do Pilates safely and properly. You are not paying some rando person on the internet who does not have current qualifications to be teaching you said things. And then, of course, in LA, you won't get it for less than $800 to $80 to $100, right? Well, in LA, the gyms are probably really fucking nice. They're probably like boutique luxury gyms. There are probably other things that like you have access to if you go to a fitness class. There might be a big, beautiful change room or fluffy towels. My point is, in Los Angeles, there are probably extra amenities that are tied into the $80 to $100. So you're paying for the extra fluffy amenities, and you're paying for a qualified teacher to safely teach you how to do this. I'm going to say the same thing over and over again.
But I wanted to make it available to everybody. The one question I know it's going to come up, because I've already been getting it a lot, is, are you going to do something like off the wall, like you did with 9-week control? And the answer is no. There's no way to mimic those pieces of machine, like, and all of those moves without the door track.
So this thing it hooks up to a door. Like, it doesn't look like a door in the set here.
Right, because we
it
just
looks
did
like
frame.
a frame. Yeah. But it hooks up to the door, and people can also install it on the wall.
Yes.
Which is the way I have it.
And I think that's the big thing for people to understand, is that, yes, we say the door track because that's what makes it super easy, but you can install it on your wall, and we have instructions on how to do that safely. So it doesn't have to be on the door.
Let's get to the supplements. So those are super unique and took forever. Like, we went through so many rounds and rounds and experimentation, trying things or looking at the marketplace. How did you land where you did with these two? And I know you had a team, PhDs, doctors, and all that stuff. Just why these?
Yeah, I know you had PhDs or doctors. So you had PhDs or doctors, because PhD in physics, in English literature, they're not going to be helping you make supplements, right? And it's so funny how he said, oh, it took so long to make these supplements. We had my husband's computers dinging on me. We went through so many rounds to go through. We went through so many rounds to pick our correct supplements. You should be doing that. It is not something unique. It is not a flex to say it took you a long time to create your supplements. And I question which doctors, true doctors, medical professionals, nurses would connect themselves to an MLM hormone health program that is a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach, because we've done 5 minutes of research twice on this channel showing that hormonal imbalances in women can be caused by dozens of health conditions, many of them having different specialists to treat said conditions with different treatment options, right? So what kind of medical professional is stamping their name on Autumn Calabrese's program? She bought multiple Pilates machines for her home gym. She must have spent 40 to 50K. Wow. Privilege. Yeah, define long time. Do you mean a week? Good question.
I mean, first of all, I've got to give so much credit to our team because I come in and I say, this is what I want. This is what I feel needs to be in there. And then they go through it step by step with me of like, okay, well, we need, basically it's a mixture of vitamins, minerals, and different adaptogens, depending on if we're talking about the stress support supplement or the metabolism and blood sugar supplement. But then they start going, okay, we need this in this clinical level and this at this clinical level. And we talked about, do we want to do it as a powder where you could mix it in a drink? Do we want to do it in pills? We ultimately landed on, obviously, 2 formulas, pill form. You only have to take 2 pills at a time. So it's really not hard to do. But I am so excited about what is in the formulas and the right amounts that we have in there. That's been what's so fun is like, it is a proprietary thing. You can't get something just like these. We looked, that was the whole thing. Is like, we looked to see, like, is there something out there already? And without having, like, the only other option was, okay, well, I'm going to buy these 6 supplements here and these over here and all kinds.
Okay, let's look at, I wasn't planning on doing this. I want to know what their supplements are for this program. Are the supplements out yet? Do you guys know the Belle Vitale supplements? It looks like they're not. Do you guys know what they're called? That's rude because I wanted to. Belle Vitale. Was I looking at equipment that's not connected to Belle Vitale at all? I'm just a mess today because I was looking at this stuff. I was looking here, and that might not even be connected to Belle Vitale. I'm thinking that was just on the body website. I'm sorry. I want to see what the supplements are. Hi, Anastasia. No worries. Okay, we're not seeing the supplements. But of course, they always say every time there's supplements, they're just so excited that these are out. It's such a unique formula. This formula is the one thing that will help you. It's impossible for you to duplicate it from anywhere else. It was the exact same with 4-week gut protocol or 4 weeks for everybody, whatever it was. They always say their supplements are the most life-changing thing. And she has no business creating a supplement. She has doctors. I say doctors because, as I said, what kind of doctor is stamping their name on this? But she does have doctors helping her. But do they have the veto? Do they have the final say in what actually goes into these supplements? Or does Autumn? I don't know.
Trying to get there. But the fact that we got.
Well, and they're talking about how amazing these supplements are and how they're going to help so many people. But what happens if we take these supplements and it's not impacting our specific unique hormonal issue that we're having? Because we need to maybe increase our Synthroid dosage. We need to go to a certain specialist who will help create a certain diet for us where we can try to get our hormonal issues under control, right? Because if we have a specific health condition, we may need help from a specific specialist, not some rando MLM supplements.
All the right vitamins and minerals, the things that are supporting our energy, our B vitamins, vitamin C, our zinc, our magnesium, our ashwagandha, our rhodiola, the guarana.
We can all list off ingredients. She just listed like 10 ingredients there, which your average person is not going to know what those are, but it sounds extremely impressive, right? Your ashwagandha, your zinc. And we're going to hear, wow, this one supplement has all of those things combined. That means I need it. I'm not a doctor, but the only stuff that I said, it lists the supplements. Okay, we'll go back. I'm not a doctor, but the only stuff that I take is, what do I take? Oh my God. Vitamin D, and then omega-3. And I take that in the evening because I don't want it to interfere with my thyroid medication. And I take omega-3 because my doctor told me to, and vitamin D because it's dark here all the time and I need some vitamin D. Maybe we all don't need zinc and magnesium, right? Like, just because there's a pill apparently that has all those supplements or all those vitamins within it doesn't mean that everyone needs to take it. Okay, let's try this again. So Lisa said there was information about the supplements. Do you know what they're called, Lisa? I don't know, man. Maybe I'll go try it later. But yeah, oh, buy now. Yes. Where's the supplements? I want info on the supplements. That's okay. I wouldn't know how to react to the information anyways. Like what's in the supplements? I don't know. I wouldn't know what to say.
All of it. It in both of those formulas, they are so effective, and so much so that I think you have never had this happen, right? With test groups.
Yeah.
We wrapped that test group, and like 2 weeks before we were wrapping, we were getting just blown up with emails and texts of like, hey, what about supplements? Because this program doesn't launch for 6 months and I can't go 6 months without the supplements.
Yeah.
So like, how do I buy the supplements now?
Yeah. Crazy. We've never seen that.
You've never seen that? I'm sure you have. And I'm sure you've said that you've never seen that other times. So what about for 4-week gut protocol? Did you really not have that happen in that test group? And the supplements for 4-week gut protocol were also touted as a brilliant proprietary blend, meaning you can't get the ingredients anywhere else. And I don't know if they already said it or she's going to say it soon. You could go around and buy separately each of the ingredients, but it's going to cost so much money. And that's why there's so much value in these supplements, because you get it all for one low price and you don't have to run around the city getting all of the ingredients that are in that supplement. So that's why it's so valuable. It is so dry in this office. My hands are falling apart.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, people are loving them. They're not like the kind of thing that you just take at a time that you need them. You take them every day.
Yes.
And that's what helps sort of harmonize everything.
And you're not going to just take the supplements and improve your hormones. That's
Right.
just not how it works.
Right.
Because eventually people will be able to obviously auto ship just the supplements once they've already bought Belle Vitale. So I don't want people to have this misconception that you could take these and then cheat the system of like, I'm going to eat the not so good for me foods and I'm going to be more stressed out. But if I take these, it's going to cancel it out. That's
Right.
not how it works. It's in conjunction with the proper nutrition, the fitness, the stress management techniques.
Yeah.
That's where you get this.
Well,
Amazing.
Why wouldn't the supplements work well just on their own? Because they're so high quality. And she said, she's going to say later, you don't have to be perfect. People fall off. It's okay. But then she just said, you can't just take the supplements and expect to have success. You need to do the program exactly how I write it. And we've seen her yell on her Instagram about people getting a little annoyed, a little frustrated about how complicated her programs are and asking if they can slightly tweak it to meet their needs. Well, how come we are adults, we have the ability to spend our time the way we want to spend it, but apparently, according to Autumn, there's only one way to do her life-changing program. You need to spend money on every single aspect of it, or else you are not going to find success, because you cannot balance your hormones with just the supplements alone. You need everything, of course. That just seems weird to me.
yeah. And when you stop, like people really, they look at prices, they look at kits, they look at boxes, and they really, I think, don't consider what's actually in there. I was talking to James Laval, our pharmacist, on this, and he was saying about that your nutrition plan is very similar to the nutrition plans that he does in his clinics. I guarantee they're charging hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for those nutrition plans.
Sure, but that dietitian, the pharmacist, who I question his validity, his legitimacy, if he's connected to Autumn, but he has qualifications. He went to school. He's doing continuing education. She does not. I would be fine paying hundreds of dollars to get actual real advice from a qualified professional. And I said this in the last video. They assume that either you are doing Beachbody, Belle Vitale, or you are like, you don't have any health insurance and you can't afford healthcare, right? Because he's assuming that this clinic, this nutritional program at this person's clinic is not covered by insurance, and you're going to have to pay the $1,000 out of pocket. But if they have insurance, it could be reduced slightly or a lot, and the person isn't going to be spending potentially thousands of dollars. But the whole crux of their argument is that you don't have insurance, so you going to a pharmacist and a nutritionist and a trainer is going to cost you thousands of dollars a month, and therefore you should just go to Autumn instead. Yeah, same here. Same here. There's no acknowledgement that people think a little bit differently. Everyone should be able to do the portion fix. There's no acknowledgement that some people's personalities would not work well with shoving their food in a tiny container. I have extreme obsessive tendencies. I would last about a day on that program because I would just force myself to do everything right. I'd be like, I need this container to have the exact right food in it, or else I am a failure. And I would drive myself bonkers. But there's no acknowledgement that people think differently, that people want to exercise differently, that people's healthy habits may look a little bit different than hers, but it doesn't mean that they're not healthy habits. I have a friend from India, and she said her friends and family there think it's so funny that people here think ashwagandha is good for health. That's funny. That's funny. I have no idea about ashwagandha at all.
You already said to do this kind of fitness would cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to do. These supplements are premium grade, highly researched and tested, and also the actual ingredients in them are tested for potency. And
that's not a fucking flex, Carl. They should be researched, whatever, for potency. They should be tested. I don't know what premium grade means, whatever, but it's not a flex. If you have supplements, you should be testing them, sir.
You've got the Breathwork app. Like, all that together should cost hundreds, if not in the thousands.
No, easy.
So what do you say to anybody who goes, about $299? That sounds kind of expensive. Like,
it is fucking expensive for someone who's not qualified, and in a past MLM structure, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. And you can say all you want, it's cheaper than seeing actual professionals, but I would rather pay out of pocket to see actual professionals. I'm sorry I'm swearing. I've sworn 3 times in the last 2 minutes. I'm going to stop swearing.
It's
pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because I almost get defensive about it a little bit because, when you and I were talking about this and I was like, this needs to be priced higher. Like, what they're getting is so much. And so it's just, I think it's really about people understanding, if you went, like you said, if you went to the clinic, if you went to the registered dietitian, which I understand I'm not the registered dietitian. I have spent years studying, but we also have registered dietitians on staff that are checking the work. So if you went to the registered dietitian just once or twice, it's probably between 200 and 500. Okay, so if you're going for multiple months in a row and you're getting your nutrition tweaked constantly to go along with what you're trying to accomplish, that alone you're in the thousands.
Yeah.
And then I know what I charged as a trainer 10 years ago, what people paid to train with me at the gym. I mean, they were paying $175 for an hour with me.
But I think so. And I get that.
Why are you talking over her? Let her speak. Apparently, she was paid $175 in the gym when she was an actual qualified, certified personal trainer. Yeah, if you're an actual professional, you can charge more because you've studied. You know how to safely guide someone through a workout. Autumn, you should not be charging $1,000 for your programs because you have no qualifications to be giving this type of information out. It's potentially dangerous. Okay, I'm going to let it play for at least a minute. I'm pausing it way too much, and I'm sorry.
Point. I think the real incredible value is the fact that all of it, somebody could go do that. Like, forget it. I'm going to go find the nutritionist. I'm going to find the fitness person. I'm going to get the app. Yeah. But you harmonized it all. That's the incredible value of this.
Yes, but yes, you could go do that. But like I said, you're not going to get the results from just doing the nutrition. You're not going to get the results from just doing the fitness or just doing the breath work. You might get a little relief, but you're not going to get that full balance. So yes, it's all there. You don't have to try to figure it out on your own. And like I said, if you did go do it on your own, you'd still spend more than $299.
Yeah. Now, I know that you were on a cruise. You met with a bunch of partners, including...
Oh my God, I'm sorry. She said you're not going to get the results by just doing the nutrition, by just doing the workouts. Maybe you won't get her version of results, right? Maybe if you just do the nutrition, maybe your hormones are still going up and down, but you're feeling more full because maybe you're eating more dense foods. Maybe you're eating more protein or more veggies and you're just feeling more satisfied physically. That could be a great benefit, right? It's just her version of results, right? You doing just the nutrition won't get you to her version of success, but it could get you to your version of success. Okay, I'm going to let it play for at least a minute, I promise.
Some of those that were in the test group. Any stories come out of that were particularly impressive, or anything that you learned about the change in lifestyle, that the improvements that people saw?
Hi, Rosie, and we're going to be talking about a woman who experienced cancer. So if you don't want to hear about someone experiencing cancer, you can jump out
now that they'd finished the program.
I mean, everybody has amazing stories. So one of the girls in our test group, Heather, is a cancer survivor. And she made sure she found me at the first party. And she was like, I just want you to know my doctor wants all of the information on Belle Vitale, everything you've got. He is so impressed by my labs. This is what she's telling me her doctor said.
Right.
He's never seen my blood work so clean. Like, that is such an amazing endorsement and compliment, and like, just like, wow. So Heather's was a great story. One of our girls, Kristen, her husband came up to me with her at the party, and he's like, look, I really want to thank you. Like, our marriage has never been stronger. And they kind of made a joke, everything from her libido being better to, she was the one telling me, she's like, I don't know what my deal is. But like, when we started the program, she was like, I can't focus ever. I am a mess around the house. Like, I leave the house messy. I just can't seem to get my act together to do any of the things that I say I'm going to do. And she's like, my husband and I argue about it a little bit, not in a way of like, where he's like, you little missy, do the chores.
Right, yeah.
It's not that. It was just, I think, both a frustration point for both of them, that her focus, like, just wasn't there. Squirrel, like, that kind of thing. And he's like, it's so much better now. And she told me, she said, the second.
Oh, hey, Elaine. Nice to see you. Yeah, clean blood work. So the first individual, she was experiencing cancer, and then her doctor was so impressed by the clean blood work. Yeah, there's no such thing as clean blood work. I would say like good blood work, strong blood work. I don't really know how you would phrase that, but of course, her blood work being better was not the result of, say, working with a professional, right? Maybe working with the oncologist, or going through the different treatments, or getting on different medications. Like, her actual treatment she's receiving from professionals, it's only due to Autumn Calabrese's program, right? And it's just so dangerous, because someone who maybe is newly diagnosed with cancer could hear that and think, wow, I just need to get on this program too, and then that will help me during my cancer treatments as well. And I don't like, Anastasia said, maybe healthy blood work, strong blood work. Rhodiola, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm getting behind. Normal, there you go, normal blood work. And then the other one, apparently a Beachbody program fixed the marriage, because the wife didn't want to do her chores. She didn't want to clean up. She had a low libido. And then she does this program, and then she's able to clean up after herself. And she's wanting to have intercourse with her spouse more often. And I just don't like us crediting helping a marriage become stronger to Autumn Calabrese instead of the people who are in the relationship themselves, because it takes away our autonomy, our strength, our perseverance that we need to have in order to strengthen a relationship that may be suffering. Because maybe, what if that couple also went to couples counseling? What if they learned healthy communication styles, healthy conflict resolution styles, where like, you can still disagree with someone, but you're also validating their opinions and their experiences. Like, where is their autonomy? Where is their strength, their commitment to each other to push through challenging times? No, apparently it will save your marriage and it will help you during your cancer journey. That was very blabby. Sorry. Both of those pics are sus, right? And we've seen some Beachbody pictures where their before is when they're pregnant, or they're immediately postpartum, and then their after is 8 months later, or a year later, or 5 years later. And I don't think that's not an honest way to do before and after pictures. So Lisa said up here, one of the ingredients in their hormone health supplement is that word, which has side effects like dizziness, nausea, jitters, and headache. Of course, the body website doesn't list the side effects. Of course not. Of course not. I wish I could find that on the website. That's okay. And then I was missing a lot of comments. Oh, it's a herb that is used in supplements. Okay, gotcha. Yes, normal within range. Okay, I'm caught up.
Second I go off the nutrition a little bit, I feel it happen immediately. She's like, I feel the shift in my attention immediately. Kat, 57 years old. I mean, people have known Kat now since the 21 Day Fix. This is the best I think I've ever seen her look since I've known her.
She was the modifier.
She was the modifier in 21 Day Fix, and now she just crushes it in all of her workouts.
Now, look, we've been doing.
Every Beachbody coach seems to have a really, not always drastic, but apparent before and after. Right when they start every program, they aren't happy with how they look. They have some kind of health issue. They have gut issues, they have hormone issues, and they take a picture of themselves looking normal, looking awesome, right? Looking like a person who works out or a person who can run around with their kids, like looks like an average person. But then they take a picture of themselves after where maybe their muscles are a little bit more defined, where their stomach, maybe they're sucking in their stomach. And the part that I don't like about before and after pictures is, I don't know how to fix this though, is it's assuming, I feel like the perception is that the before picture is less than, right? Just because maybe in the before picture, your stomach looks a little bit bigger than it does in the after picture. Doesn't mean that you're not awesome and amazing in the first picture. Doesn't mean that you weren't awesome and amazing before you lost 100 pounds. You're not more awesome because you lost weight. So amazing and brilliant and congratulations, but you were also awesome before that. You were also awesome when you just started. Do you know what I mean? I can't explain it, and I don't know how to fix the issue of the before picture seemingly being of less value than the after picture. I don't know.
Doing this for a long time. You've been with the company, what, 12 years?
11.
Okay, 11 years. I've been doing this now for 25 years. Unfortunately, not everybody who buys a program with great intention follows all the way through. You got some people who just blow your mind, and some people who are just like, they fall off the wagon and they never go back. What do you think for people who are watching this, they're like, oh, I'd like to do this. How can we advise? What's the difference between those people that don't make it all the way through and the people who, like Kat, like Kristen, like Heather, who buckle down and commit and see it all the way through? What's that difference?
Support, for sure. This is why people love getting in test groups, because when you're in the test group, like, not only do they have the support from me, they have the support from each other, and there's just that little bit, in all honesty, I'm sure there's that little bit of like competition that people have. It's not a public thing where they're like, I'm going to be better than you, but I think it's that, like, even when it gets hard, when you're struggling, you pop into that group and you're like, okay, this person is doing it. I can do it too. Or, they'll put up a post. Hey, I'm falling off the wagon a little bit. And there's somebody there to be like, look, it's okay. We're not here to be perfect. Like,
we're not here to be perfect, but you just told us if we want to do just the nutrition or just the fitness, then it's not going to work out. And of course, yeah, the people join their downline. That's how they were successful, right, Elaine? But of course, we can't find success in this program unless we are plugged into a body group, unless we are part of the community, and we can't find support anywhere else. We can't find support in our mom, in our spouse, in our best friend. It has to be the body community, right?
just get back on it. Like, check in with us, like whatever, post. And I know for us, some things have shifted in the company recently with how our partners, and we're more the affiliate model, but the fact that we still have the ability to host groups, I think is huge. Mm-hmm. That's human nature. Mm-hmm. We're not meant to do things completely solo. And while some of us have to, I think life is easier when you got a swim buddy. Yeah. When you got somebody, even if it's just one person, to help you along on the hard day.
Is that what happens like in week 13?
What about people aren't able to find success in the way Autumn defines it? Because life is hard. Life gets in the way sometimes. Based on your circumstances, you may not be able to devote an hour long, half an hour long workout for the amount of time that Autumn says you have to do it. Maybe you have the time in your schedule, but you are so tired or so mentally or physically drained from your workday, from your life as a parent or a spouse, that you can't work out. Like, if I would not be able to do a workout after this stream right now, technically I would have the time before going to bed, but I am mentally tired after these streams. I usually go lay in bed and look at my phone for a little bit. I would not be able to work out. My point is, you cannot expect people to work out all the time if they're mentally or physically exhausted. I'm not phrasing myself well. Life gets in the way. Sometimes shit happens. Sometimes we can't do what we say we're going to do, and it truly is okay. It's not just because we weren't plugged into our bod group. It's just life is hard sometimes. We need to be flexible with ourselves. We need to understand that if we fall off a little bit, we didn't fail, and we can try to get back on the program when our life calms down a bit. It could be next week, could be next month. Who knows? That was so convoluted and so poorly said. I'm sorry.
Team too, because you'll see somebody like have this epiphany, this all the clouds lift, look at life, and then they go right back to the alcohol, right back to the sugar, less consistent with the workouts, or the stress comes back and they forget how to manage it. Like, does that need the support too, or what is it that these people get derailed from something that was so great for them?
Maybe they need counseling if they're going right back to the alcohol or the eating patterns that are not making them feel good, right? Or they're stressed. Maybe they need counseling if they're going back to habits that weren't healthy for them. Maybe they're not going to find this relief through a Beachbody program. She's so judgmental and considers it supportive. Exactly, Rosie, because you have to do things in the exact way she wants you to. You need to do the program how she prescribes it. You need to exercise. You need to want the exact same thing that she wants. And if you don't, then your goals aren't valid. She would hate the way I lost weight. She would hate the way that I maintain my strength, because I go to the gym once a week to see my trainer, and then I just Google YouTube videos, usually 20 to 25 minutes for dumbbells. I have 10 pounds and I have 15 pounds, and I just do dumbbell workouts 3 days a week, and I work out once at the gym very intensely for 1 hour. So one actual intense, really hard workout, 3 reasonably average workouts. She would hate that because it's not what she's telling me to do.
It's a couple things. I think mindset is so important. It's why in my workouts, I'm always giving mindset.
No, there's nothing wrong with the people who aren't able to do your restrictive, complicated eating and workout programs. They don't need mindset work. You need to create programs. No, wait, you need to not create programs because you are not qualified to do so. But if you were an actual trainer, you should be creating programs that your average person with not much time would be able to do. You need to have reasonable ideas for eating and meals that your average person could figure out. Your average person being someone who is maybe not the most brilliant cook, who works a lot, who has kids, who can't just sit there and create a big, brilliant, amazing meal every single night. You need to have reasonable nutrition guidelines. I do too. I love dumbbells, and I love that I'm actually stronger, and I'm noticing it in the gym, and I'm noticing it outside the gym as well. I love it. And I got there from a trainer. Yes, I spent a lot of money on the trainer, but it's worth it because they're a professional.
Stuff because I've realized I can give you the best laid plan, but sometimes not sometimes, you have to fix this. You have to fix your mindset if you want to fix anything else. And I also think a lot of times when you're doing something that is working really well,
and Autumn's going to help us fix this. Why do we need to change our brain to do your program? If your program is so easy and so life-changing, we should be able to do it at any time, no matter what we're going through.
And almost starts to feel second nature-y, you can get complacent with it.
Yeah, totally.
So I see that happen a lot. And then the other thing I see happen is this mindset shift of, and it's the wrong mindset to have, I already know how to fix it. So it's okay if I go off the rails a little bit. And that's where it starts to become this vicious mind game that somebody's playing with themselves of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna we did it and I look great and I feel great. And I know in week 1 alone, I lost 5 pounds. And so it's fine. I'm going to go drink all the alcohol and have a great time this weekend. And what they don't realize is the second you put the alcohol back in, now it's harder for your body to detox. You probably didn't get as good of a night's sleep. You're going to wake up the next day tired. What happens when you're tired? Your body looks for a readily available energy source. What is that? Sugar. Here come the sugar cravings. And you start this vicious cycle. And so the sugar cravings are back. And then it's like, okay, I'll get back to it tomorrow. And then it's like, oh, I know what I need to do. I'll just carb deplete. I'll just leave this out, or I'll just go back to the beginning. They're thinking that they could cheat the system because they're making it about the number on the scale and they're not making it about their overall well-being. So
that's comical. They're making it about the number on the scale, not their overall well-being. Beachbody doesn't give a fuck about our overall well-being. It's all about weight loss. It's all about making our body as tiny as possible. Because if it wasn't about weight loss, you wouldn't be talking so much about weight loss. You wouldn't have said right at the beginning of this silly video that you will lose weight within 3 weeks. And now you're saying if you go out and have fun with your friends one night, you drink some beer, that's ruining all your progress because you're going to go home and have sugar, because apparently sugar is the devil. You can't have any sugar. You're going to go home and have sugar. You're going to eat carbs, and your body's going to get all out of whack from one meal, from one fun night out with your friends. Apparently, perfection is not what we're looking for. It's okay to fall off track, but if you do, you're ruining everything. And apparently, this is a sustainable lifestyle.
It has to be a mindset shift from day one of, hey, this is a lifestyle switch that I need to make. If I have these habits that aren't serving me, then I have to be willing to let these go for good. I'm not saying you can't ever have another drink. I'm not saying you're not going to have caffeine or something like that, but I'm saying you cannot go back to the behaviors that weren't serving you. And however, you need to remind yourself of that, right? Like, I don't care if it's posted on the fridge. Don't go back to old behaviors. Something on your phone if you need a friend to check in, but there has to be something. It's different for everybody. That's the problem, is there's no one way I can tell you, make sure you do this to adjust your mindset.
Yeah, well, it's like you said.
What about a counselor to help them not get back into old behavior? What about AA if they are having issues with drinking, right? It's not always, you can't fix harmful habits, and I mean actually harmful habits, right? You can't fix harmful habits by putting up a little sticky note on your mirror. Sometimes you need professional help. Somehow human bodies have survived for thousands of years in all manners of adverse conditions. True. We're so close to being done.
That's why the groups can be so helpful, because I think that really the joy that you feel from completing this, you actually pay back to the group, to the next people who are doing it. And when you're supporting them to get these results, you're reinforcing that to yourself. And that's cyclical. Like, that is synergy. And all of a sudden, everybody's winning.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I think Belle Vitale is going to be a game changer. Millions of women, I think, are going to benefit from it. You've put so much into this, and I hope it's incredibly successful.
Millions. No one who's not, let me phrase that again. Beachbody affiliates are going to buy this. No one else is going to buy this. It's going to be a shit sale, a shit launch, because you decided to make your company completely affiliate while this was launching. So you got rid of your entire customer base. So you fucked your own launch, Carl.
Both for you and for the company. But I'll just sort of give you this, like, one last opportunity. Guarantee there's somebody watching this who's just like, maybe I'll do that. What is your advice to the person that's contemplating it? And I tend to think that maybe I'm going to do it means you're not.
Was that me? I leaned forward in my chair and then I heard a I don't think that was me.
Going to do it. So what is your advice to somebody? You can even say it to the camera if you
want. Well, I'm going to say to you, I think maybe I'm going to do it is more, I have such a fear of failing again, and I don't want to feel that pain. And so if somebody's hesitating, you got to step past the fear and go for it. It's not a failure. It's the learning experience. I think that's a big.
It's not a failure, but if you go out and drink for one night, you're throwing away all of your progress and all of your goals, and you have to start from the beginning. It's not a failure, but if you are hesitating just a little bit, then you're fearful and you don't actually care enough to do what you need to do to change your life and your health. She's contradictory.
Big issue that we have, is that it's like this all or nothing mentality of like, I have.
But you were literally, that is your favorite thing. I think I have a video from a million years ago. It's like all or nothing with Autumn, because she screams at people who don't want to do her program in the exact way she writes it. And then she's like, this all or nothing mentality is the problem. No, you're the problem, because you're encouraging this harmful mentality. I think launching right before Christmas when people are short of money isn't a great strategy. Maybe they're after the New Year's resolution people. Maybe. I know, she does. She does, Rosie.
Have to do it, and I have to be perfect, and I'm waiting for the perfect time, and it's 3 months long, and there's a holiday, and there's a birthday, and there's a trip. There's always going to be something. This is your life. What does your health mean to you?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where, maybe that.
And of course, if we don't want to do Autumn's program, our health doesn't mean anything to us. We're not willing to change. We're not willing to sacrifice. If we want to eat some pie at Christmas dinner, we don't care about our health. But we have to avoid the all or nothing mentality, right?
That's where you need to start. What does your health mean to you? The next time that hot flash hits, do you want to keep feeling that, or do you want to start to feel better? When the mood swings are there, when the weight is just so frustrating because it just won't come off, you've got to be willing to take the chance and make the change. Otherwise, nothing changes if nothing changes. It's not about being perfect. You don't have to be perfect. I fully expect you to fumble along the way. Your day one is not my day one on this set. The day I step foot on this set, I am 2 years into development. I have spun around on that damn door track. I literally almost took my fitness expert's head off, almost broke the computer at one point. Like, it's not my day one. It's your day one. So fumble and work through it and grow and get better and learn about yourself. That's what it's about. It's about learning about you, your body, what makes you feel good and what works for you.
What works for us, but what if we don't want to do your program in the exact way that it's written? What works for my body? What makes me happy? What if it means I take the supplements, I do your workouts, but I still go out for a fun meal once a week with my friends where I eat like mozzarella sticks and nachos and I bond with my friends? What if that's what works for me? What if that's what makes me feel good?
Go for it.
Love it. Well, bellevitale.com is the place that people can check it out. You'll see success stories there. If you want to see if there's anybody sort of like you in the place that you are, you'll be able to sort of work your way around. And hopefully, I think millions of people are going to try it, benefit from it, and then that'll create this virtuous cycle of more people wanting to do it. So thank you. Great job.
Oh my God. I hate that so much. Remove. We learned a lot. We learned you can't have the all or nothing mentality, but that's her favorite thing. She tells us we have to do her programs in the exact way that it's written, or else we don't care about our health. If we don't want to do what she's telling us to do, it means we're okay with our hormonal changes. We're okay with our hot flashes because we're not willing to do the work that's required to actually make the change, right? So I'm so glad we're done that. And I don't want to do another autumn video for a really long time. I'm extremely excited for my next video. I'm not going to do one on Wednesday because I'm actually going to prepare for my next video on Wednesday. But I followed down a huge Mount Everest rabbit hole where I've been looking at how long it takes to actually like get up the mountain, how long it takes to get to the base camp, the different risks that the climbers go through going up that high, how high they actually go. It's over 8,000 meters, and how the body like shuts down the higher up you get. And it's just fascinating to me. I've been listening to so many videos while I'm working about people's journey from the time they fly into the area where you start your trek to base camp to all the way up to the top where they summit on Mount Everest, and then they have to get back down. And it's just so fascinating. And I'm going to do a video about Mount Everest, and I've decided I'm going to do a video. There's a few options I could do. Mount Everest and the death zone, where the death zone is, I think it's 8,000 meters and up, where human life cannot be sustained long term because the air is just so thin, and your body goes through a lot when you're up that high. And there are often traffic jams in the death zone on Mount Everest. And I was telling my husband about this, and I can't find the time limit of how long climbers can be in the death zone on Mount Everest before their body starts to shut down. I can't find it anywhere, but there's a lot of research about what happens to climbers when they're that high. And we're going to look at videos and pictures of people, hundreds and hundreds of people lining up right before the summit on a single rope, where you have to clip on and then you walk up on a single rope, and you can see people like crossing paths on this tiny little ridge right before the summit. And it's like two-way traffic on barely a one-way road. And I think, I want to look at traffic jams right before the Mount Everest summit, because the longer you stay there, the more likely you're going to die. But then my husband was saying, well, it's not right away, because if it was right away, all of those 100 people in the traffic jam would be dead, and not that many people have died. I'm pretty sure have died on Mount Everest at the exact same time. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a Mount Everest expert, but I think that's what I want to do. But there, you could also do a video on the amount of garbage and human waste that's left on the mountain as well, or the Sherpas and the porters not being paid enough money for the risk that they experience all the time, right? Because these Sherpas are literally bringing people up the highest mountain in the world, and they could die at any time, and they have died, but they're not making that much money. But you could do a bunch of different topics, but I think I want to focus on traffic jams in the death zone. That was a very blabbery explanation. I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Yes! Isn't it so fun? I'm going to do research. I'm going to at least write notes, but maybe a script. I'm going to have sources. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be very, very fun. But I don't claim to be a Mount Everest expert. I'll probably get things wrong, but it's going to be fun. Because I've been in such a rabbit hole. That's all I've been listening to during work. It's so fun. So that's all I have for today. I will see you guys most likely next Monday for the Mount Everest video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great night. Bye!